Graffiti vandals can be hard to catch.
It's a huge problem.
All-out war on graffiti.
2 out of every 3 cans were stolen out of your typical neighborhood store.
And what happens to the kids convicted of graffiti offenses?
Crime scene colon, these cold streets you patrol on. Try to get a hold on, kids strapped with growl on.
Vandals born on my kid, getting chased, baited, but mostly getting shit painted.
Someone wants them, it's either step up, run up, or shut up.
LA is the gallery, the streets of New York is the gallery, the streets of Chicago is the gallery. You can go to some places in LA where there's railroad tracks and crazy ass walls, you're gonna see that art for free. You might pay for being in the wrong place.
Yo, you tuning in to Eyesore Radio. On today's episode, yo, we got a heater. Hey, yo, guest, state your name, where you from?
This is Santo from DAF.
Daze, AIC, DAF, all in your city, destroying America's future.
160er DAF.
Right on, bro. Yo, bro, let's get to it, man. First off, man, what does DAF stand for?
DAF, we all have our own meanings to it. Everybody has their own little fucking saying. We got down as fuck, doing all fat chicks, doing another female, and here, you want to say some more?
Dope as fuck. Drugs are fun. Drugs aren't fun.
Devil's all-time favorite. Dope ass crew.
For all my people back in Tijuana, De Acero Firme. That's another one, DAF. You already know, right?
That's right. Yo, man, so how did DAF come together as a crew?
So the LA DAF originally started in '89, and it was a couple homies from high school in West LA, and it was I want to say like about 5 heads, maybe maybe a little bit more, but originally they just they were writers from like high school and just homies that kicked it, and they just said, let's start a crew down as fuck, and they just started hitting that up in West LA, like Echo Park area, and that's kind of where it originated from, and then it kind of spread out from there, but originally West LA, on the west side of Los Angeles.
Oh, right on. And who are the original members, and how did the circle expand like over time with?
So originally, the main heads, off the top of my head, Setter, Osco, Ammer, Kurt one, R.I.P. Kurt, and so some of them, like there's a few more, I can't really remember right now, but those are some of the heads that I remember. But originally, like my homie Setter is the one that kind of kicked that off, so shout out to my boy Setter, Selena, Selly. Those are my OGs, they're the ones that kind of put me on, so.
How does one get into DAF?
Well, for everybody it's a little different. Some people have their names already built up, and we give them a little more slack. But we make everybody do at least 10 bombs, hotspots. Nothing in the yards. Only hotspots, street side shit.
How important is it being in a crew in graffiti?
Everybody has their own. Honestly, everybody has their own way of thinking about it. You don't even need to be from a crew to fucking pop, to be popping. But it is good to have fucking homies, to be painting out with, and it's a community thing. We share spots with each other, and if one person can't get the spot, the next person from the crew is gonna get the spot. So it's a big community thing. Just depends how you like to put it.
Do you guys have any females in the crew?
No. But there be homies that be acting like females.
Yo, so any crews you guys looked up to like coming up?
I mean, me personally, I think that when I started graffiti, it was like back in the mid 90s. So there was a lot of crews that are probably still around now. I mean, I don't want to mention anybody and then forget other ones, you know. So pretty much a lot of like the old school 90s crews, I know personally, I kind of looked up to them and I was homies with a lot of them. But, you know, and I like to see them still doing their thing and still outside, you know, with new members and old members still getting involved, you know. So, I mean, there's a quite a few crews out there that I could say personally I looked up to, but, you know, UTI is probably one of them. I mean, there's crews that are probably no longer around. You guys probably never heard of them. HCK. Those are crews that are like from where I grew up in, like the South Side area of Los Angeles. It was those crews, you know, and a lot of them they died out, you know. So, you know, that's pretty much it. I don't know, you guys.
So I mean, I don't want to be picking and choosing, but I guess when I was growing up and shit, it was like the CVS's, MTAs too themselves, you know, them doing that big ass shit that gets us fucking. That's where I always wanted to get my shit big as fuck like that. So
I mean, there's like a ton of crews I could honestly shout out, but respect to everyone that's out there killing it and been killing it. I'm pretty sure we all know who's out there, who's been out there from day one.
Right on, bro. Now, me personally, bro, as far as like work-wise, I travel, bro. So I'm like up and down Cali, bro, right? And no lie, I see DAF everywhere, bro. How does the LA scene differ from like other cities?
I mean, me, I could say like I've painted like in San Diego. Up north, I haven't really had a chance to like paint, but like for part of my work, I also traveled and like I think back and I like now that I'm a little more active, like I missed a lot of opportunities because like Chicago's cracking. A lot of these other cities, they'll have like their little section where, you know, like I've been to Dallas, I've been to Houston, El Paso, Vegas, obviously Vegas, and I mean, I see the influence, the LA influence on a lot of those cities, where it'll be like somebody that's either looking at LA and mimicking what we do here, or it's somebody that is either from here and they moved out there and they just get it cracking out there the way we do out here. So I know, you know, they did had a mission. I'll let them tell it, but they had a mission up north, and you know, they caught some wreck up there, and I think that even they came back and they even said like we didn't even like touch the tip of the city. It was like just the beginning, you know, and like they could have done a lot more. But I mean, I think that, you know, I think we influence a lot of people. We just don't know it because we don't step outside of like the city. So like I've been to Dallas. They have a nice little scene, but it's not like right here, you know. Of course, a lot of people do trains. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people do trains, so they're into that. Like I know Chicago does a lot of trains. I talked to a few people out there, and when I went out there to see, like I don't know. I guess we hit everything out here. You know what I mean? Like we fucking hit freeways, fucking buildings, rollers, and a lot of them they're still stuck behind. You know, like they don't hit billboards. They don't hit. You know what I mean? Like the back of billboards or fucking rollers, and they're kind of like, you know, or if they do, it's people, like I say, they have their influence out here, so they're paying attention to what's going on out here. You know what I mean?
So I think LA honestly has a big part in this shit. LA got a big part in this shit. You go to fucking other cities and ain't nothing like LA. LA is killed. I mean, we went to Oakland and shit, and that shit was killed, but Oakland's a throwy central. And compared to LA, you got bombs, you know, you got rollers on some hot ass streets and on some fucking main streets. We went to Oakland and we didn't really see too many rollers like you do in LA. So when we went to Oakland, we brought that LA to fucking Oakland. And, you know, but we just barely hit the tip of the iceberg. There's still a lot more to come.
Hey, but yeah, shout out to the people out there in Oakland killing it, like Camel, Notice, you know. Rest in peace, that fool Angus. Those are some people out there that were doing some big things that like were very noticeable. Other than that, like the homie said, it was purely like throwies. We went out there within 24 hours. We did like 5 blockbuster rollers, daytime shit. We were doing everything. And it was crazy because out there, like, you can notice that the LA has, like, we have our own, like, way of moving. And out there, we tried our best, like, you know, to just do our own thing and not be, like, too out there and noticed. But you could tell we were heavily noticed just because the way we move very fast. And the people out there seemed like they weren't really fucking with us. Whether it be, like, casual cats, gang members, like, we're moving way too fast for the area. But no disrespect to Oakland, much love to them, shout out to them.
Damn, that's right. So let me ask you this, man. What's your guys' take, man, on graffiti, like on social media and on the on the internet, bro?
I think this all social media shit. I think it changed the game. I think it made people that are not outside. It made people seem like they were outside, and you actually, if you're outside, you see who's really out there and shit. And a lot of those pages on Instagram, they're not even out there like that. They just post for the gram. So it depends how you want to take it on that, you know? Everybody has their own.
Well, my opinion on it is this. It's good and it's bad. Because without social media right now, a lot of us wouldn't have access to see a lot of the graffiti. Unless you're all over the place, and some of us don't have it like that, So a lot of writers, especially like, in LA's so big where you'll have a writer in South Central and he kills, but he'll never get out of South Central. Like, he has rooftops, he has billboards, he has streak spots, slabs, whatever, but you'll never see him outside of that. But if he has social media and you catch a glimpse of it, you're like, man, this was dope, even though he's only there. A lot of times, like, coming from the 90s, we didn't have social media. Our social media was like, go to the fucking craft store, buy a VHS, if you guys know what that is. And, you know what I mean? And magazines, and you'd flip through the pages and you'd fucking see, like, other names, and, oh shit, that fool already has that name, or, oh, that fool gets up, or I like his style, whatever, right? And, that was our social media. But aside from that, like, so it's good and it's bad, because just like Daze said, that there's a lot of fools out there that, because social media gives them that credibility, but we might not give them the credibility, right? Because we don't see them, we never run into them, whatever. But other fools are like in their comments, like gassing them up in the likes and the views, and these fools are like big headed. And I've met a couple fools that are like Instagram celebrities, but in person they're fucking, they're weenies, And I know, like, where I come from, we would have took that fool's cans, like, or we would have punked his ass, But I mean, I'm not like that anymore, But let's just say that you see the vibe, like, of the person, like, they're a little too friendly, they don't have their guard up, as opposed to like people that were raised, outside of Instagram or outside of social media, like these two gentlemen here, where you see somebody in the yard and you put your guard up because you don't know who that fool is, or you're somewhere and you already know this fool's, who is he? And a lot of these fools are like too friendly, like, hey, what's up, dude? And it's like, bro, I would have took your cans just based off of your, your interaction. But that's why social media is good. A lot, like, I've met a lot of people through social media and they're dope as fuck, and if it wouldn't have been for that, then I probably would have never met them, what I'm saying? So it's good and it's bad, So, I don't know. Santo, you want to say something?
Yeah, I think social media, like you said, it has its ups and its downs. Like, there's a lot of artists, like, some, they just have, like, one popping video and they'll get more recognition than some artists that are actually out there, have been out there, and are putting in the work. And, it's cool for artists who don't get enough recognition. They, like how he said, they just be in one place, so it allows, like, more of the community to see them, get to appreciate them, maybe buy their art and support them. But there's a lot of artists out there that don't really fuck with the social media shit, and they're on, like, that active tip. They're really just trying to be out there. And, like you said, you get your cans taken, you get beat up, shit happen to you.
Yeah, man. It has its pros and cons, that's for sure, bro, And I bet a lot of the times the art's seen more on the social media than in person, bro, But, yo, we chilling with the one and only DAF Krew, bro. Yo, Eyesore Radio, baby. We're going to go a quick little break, man. Let's go.
I love this graffiti shit, I'm never gonna quit. Painting my name on the side of a train so they can see it. In the city fame, the only way to state your claim. Bombing billboards and highway spots in the pouring rain. I never gave a fuck, I walk with markers in my bag. I'm always dropping tags back to back on the Ave. Hell yeah, me and my crew, we rock spots even after I got caught. I still can't be stopped, fuck the cops. If they come in, I'm running and jumping fences. Ducking and dodging, stumbling and fumbling through the trenches. Riders everywhere, get prepared for the Holocaust. I'll still be rocking spots when your crew is falling off. Toys get destroyed from Cali to Illinois. It's time to kill that noise, cause graffiti ain't for little boys. I take this shit serious, so if you want beef, you better bring it. But eventually you'll see me in the streets. I love this graffiti shit, I'm never gonna stop. Cause I can't stop, won't stop until I reach the top. I love this graffiti shit, I'm never gonna stop. I'm never gonna stop, y'all, I'm never gonna stop. I love this graffiti shit, I'm never gonna stop. Cause I can't stop, won't stop until I reach the top. I love this graffiti shit, I'm never gonna stop. I'm never gonna stop, y'all, I'm never gonna stop. And yo, you probably see me on the news, repping my crew. Cause my letters are so sick, I got y'all catching a flu. In the end, whole cause, mass destruction is our motto. Hella gang, pure, fesso, point, sicko, mono. I live for graffiti, I love it, I'll never leave it. I mean it, I have footage of us painting pieces. You toys need to step back before you get served. Y'all ain't kings, you only painting tunnels in the suburbs. My crew gets around with shit on this town, hitting places that you couldn't get to from the ground. Non-stop rocking spots every weekend while you're sleeping. Always scheming up a plot to hit the top so you'll see it. I knock other writers out the box in the night. I'm the neighborhood Spider-Man climbing the heights. I do everything I have to step on you fellas. I represent Pain King / reckless and rebellious.
Yo, 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 we back. And yo, we chilling with the DAF crew. Yo, we gonna go straight into these questions here now, bro. Yo, man. How do you balance so many different personalities in one crew?
Personally, I'm gonna tell you, you balance different personalities by having different personalities in your crew. What that means is that you have people that are more calm, so they diffuse situations. Me, myself, I'm more pragmatic. I like to, let's talk about it, because especially within the crew, unless it's people that they have low IQ and you can't deal with them, so you just kind of let them be. You shake their hand, you give them a pound, and you just go about your business, But there's people that they misunderstand things, or they take things a certain way. And I always tell people this, like, and there's been plenty of times, these guys could vouch, where it might not be the topic, but it's the topic within the scene, the graph scene. And I just figured I gotta make it known to my crewmates, like things like pertaining to like female things, female writers or other crews, and painting with other crews and stuff like that. Those are things that it might not involve us, but I bring it up because I don't want us to be labeled such and such, or because, like I said, like there's a lot of people that misunderstand over one person what he does. They think the whole crew's like that. Let's just say they run into Daze somewhere and he just happens to be, drunk or whatever. And that's just an example. My boy don't drink, he's not an alcoholic. But, and then they have a bad interaction with him, and then they'll turn around and say like, oh, all the fools from DAFF and shit, whatever, they're fucking drunkies, whatever they, So within the crew, we try to like, hey bro, make sure you guys don't do this, make sure we do this or whatever. Like, oh, we're cool with these fools, so what I'm saying, keep it cool. If you guys ever run into anybody from that crew, you guys have a good interaction, so they don't walk away thinking something else. But yeah, I mean, I think that there's been times where Santo steps in and he gives it like that calming, like, hey guys, blah blah, and I appreciate that from him, because shit, that's like taking a little load off of other people's, like there's people from the crew that are like, nah, fuck that, let's go, let's do this, woo woo. And it's like, bro, that's just gonna make things worse, And the last thing me personally, I'm gonna tell you, I want to make sure that these fools get home safe at the end of the day, because it shouldn't be that serious, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want for something that I did somewhere to affect any one of these two guys in their regular personal lives, you know, like, oh, you're from DAF, boom, you know, and over something I did, you know. So that's why I always, you got to carry yourself right, you know. So, you want to say something, Santo?
Very well said, bro. Does DAF have any roles within the crew?
I'm gonna tell you guys. Recently, we kind of like tightened ship, you know. But you know, like we have like the older members, and even if you're like an OG, doesn't mean that it gives you like, oh, you know, you guys gotta do what I say or whatever the fuck, right? But because I mean, Santo's been from the crew for you know not too long, but shit, he's got just as much voice in the crew as me and Daze, you know, for example. But like technically, there is like a group of main heads, you know, that you could say like these fools are the ones that kind of like. I mean, it doesn't get too technical, right? But it kind of does, you know, when it involves like recruiting and you know just things, painting with crews and stuff like that. But you know, like there is like a group of, you know, people that do decide, you know. So there is kind of roles, you would say, you know.
Yeah. Are there any rules within the crew?
Yeah, we got rules. Shit, don't make us look bad, you know. And don't half step. We don't want no half steppers in this motherfucker, you know. Full step on that shit. And always finish your spots. You know, never leave anything half fucking done. Always go back to finish, even if you get chased out or whatever. And just fucking remain humble. You know, that's how I'd see it. Always remain humble. Everybody loves humble people.
Yeah, pretty much just like the homies say, you know? The basics, the shit that everyone should know. Pretty much it.
Do you think DAF has a signature style?
Big, bold, beautiful. Nothing but solid shit. We like to make sure that homies are doing shit that people are going to see, people are going to read, and people are going to notice. We don't like to waste our time on things that are just going to get buffed, capped, or like disrespected, you know? We're on a tip where we want to make sure that we put our time and effort into something that's going to matter and actually, you know, be noticed. Because if we're doing this and like at the end of the day, like we know the consequences, we go to jail, lose our lives, there's so many things like that happen. You want to do this shit like and make it count. You want to make it matter. You don't want to just go out here, do some bullshit little tag or some little fucking throwy and then you fucking lose your life over that. It's not worth it.
Yeah, that's why I tell everybody, every time you hit a spot, make that shit count, you know? And hit that, you don't want to go back and have to fucking fix it. You don't know if that's going to be your last spot. You don't know if you're going to get busted for that spot. So I tell everybody from the crew to fucking hit that shit right, you know, make it worth it. Me, I'm not a tag guy. Like, I don't really go out and fucking catch tags too much because to me, I see it like if I get busted for a tag, I'm going to be in jail pissed. You know what I mean? So I'd rather get busted for some big ass shit that I'm going to be proud of. You know what I mean? So that's my motive, and that's what I tell everybody to, you know, think like that.
I mean, I think like this, though, that one, we do have like a style within us, but I also think that it's so many different like ways of looking at graffiti. You know, we got a homie that does Daffy Ducks, you know, and that's what he does, you know. You know, you have Santo does rollers, and that's his thing, you know. So clean rollers, clean spots, visible spots, you know. And Daze does big ass, you know what I'm saying, big ass shit on his own by himself, you know. Me personally, I can't, and I've told these fools, I've been on fucking little mission with these fools, and I'm like, damn, dog, like, I don't know how you guys do it, dog. Like, I can't get my letters that big. I can, like, I'll be fucking painting, and Daze will be in the background bigger, you know. And I'll be like, fuck, you know what I mean? And but it's cool. Like, within us, we respect like each is a little grain of salt into the crew, you know, because that's what makes us. Like, we're not gonna sit here and say, hey, we all have to have wow styles and we all have to have fucking hand styles, and we are like, I mean, it's unfortunate that there's a lot of people out there that consider, I mean, oh, if you don't have hand styles, you're not a graffiti, right? You're toy. And it's like, bro, like, what really is toy? Like, your perspective of toy might not be our perspective of toy, you know what I mean? Like, we probably look at it like, fuck, that's dope, you know? So,
Has there been a moment where the crew had almost fallen apart?
I think that when we started, me personally, I could say, though, that there was times that there was, like, tension with, like, neighborhoods, with gangs. And I think we were really close where we weren't, like, really hanging out as much. I think that's what kills the crews, when you're not even, number one, you're not active because all your shit's getting dissed. And not just but neighborhoods, but it's, like, all at once, you know? Whatever, you know, when it rains, it pours and shit, you know? So everybody's, like, you know, kind of doing their own thing, you know, just keeping in touch, like, very, like, minimal. But yeah, there was a few times, though, that we were just, like, down to, like, just 5 members or whatever. Like, compared to, like, right now, I think we got a good solid team, you know, like, for this little comeback, you know what I'm saying? And it's like I said, like, there's a lot of, like, OGs that are stepping back in, and they're like, fuck yeah, like, you know, I see you guys doing your thing, I want to do my thing too, you know? So that kind of motivates, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so like when I got from the crew back in 2017, fuck, nobody was riding the crew. There was no one hitting up the crew at all. It was just me, my boy Bios, some fool Bower that used to be from the crew, and that was it. We were out there just hitting shit, you know, and nobody was repping the crew the way it is now. So it evolved, and we're growing, and we hope to keep growing, you know.
I can't really speak on the history, but I know we solid as fuck right now.
What's the wildest mission DAF has ever pulled off?
Personally, for me, it would be right now the Oakland trip we took. Going to Oakland and doing everything we accomplished in 24 hours is just, it's crazy. It's crazy for us, like, even as people that already do big shit and accomplish big things, it's crazy to think that we were able to go out there and accomplish all that shit. We went there with, like, over 100 gallons of paint, and it was funny because we went out there and we're like, we're gonna come back with no paint. But then as we were leaving the place, we went to Home Depot, and, like, out there, I guess people aren't really on their roller shit, so their, like, whole section of paint was just covered with, like, oops and different colors and shit. And we're like, all right, fuck it, let's just take it off. So we ended up coming back to LA with a ton of fucking paint. That's how we went out there. Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, so we got that Oakland trip. That was fucking one for the books. Another fucking mission that was really good was the 10, the big wall off the 10. That one was about when we did that roller on top, that was a good whole weekend, 2 days straight, day and night. I got there like at 10 in the morning. I didn't go home till 4 in the morning. So from Friday to Sunday, that was my weekend right there for 3 days, you know. So
yeah, so that one, what he talked about, I think personally, that to me, like, the people that spearheaded that, you know, Daze was, you know, there, Clay, Trials, it was just like, fucking get on the roof, roller from the top down. And it's crazy because it's like Friday afternoon traffic, everybody passing by just looking at us. And you know, like, I mean, I helped out what I could. I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't take nothing from these guys, especially this fool. Like, this fool was fucking on it, bro. Like, and me, like, oh, hey, I gotta go to work. I fucking go straight to work, you know, put in some hours over there, get off of work, say, hey, what do you guys need? Waters, whatever, pizza. Pull up, and these fools are still going at it, dog, rollering the whole building on the side of the freeway, dog. And people are, like, already commenting, pulling up on us. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was fucking barbecue. We were fucking drinking right there, like, Friday night, Saturday night, fucking even Sunday morning, like, just going at it on that big-ass fucking roller. And it's crazy because I'm driving back and forth to fucking TJ, and I'm over there at the graph shop out there. Shout out to my boy Mode, you know, La Liber graph shop. And like, I'm out there, and, you know, Mo from MTA, he had a graph shop out there too also. And they're talking about it, you know, while it's going on. And I'm like, bro, like, and he's like, yeah, he's from DAF, you know, they're the ones that did the big roller on the side of the freeway. And I'm like, hell yeah, bro, like, fuck yeah. But not taking credit from this gentleman right here, because this fool was fucking without a shirt, just fucking going at it, dog, just fucking on top of the building, whatever, you know, whatever had to be done, we got it done, dog. So shout out to that. To me, was the fucking exclamation point, dog, you know. We did what we did, and you know, seeing these guys go up to Oakland, shit, I wish I would have been there with them, dog, because I would have been, you know what I'm saying, happy and shit. But yeah.
You already touched on painting at the motherland. You also shout out the motherland. From the city, the back streets, bro, the desert. Has DAF ever painted outside the U.S.?
Shit. Well, you know what? 160 has. Honestly, no one's. I don't think anyone's painting outside the U.S. yet. Not yet. We're gonna get there and shit. But you know, we got stickers out in outside the U.S. for sure. Cause we give our stickers to people that are traveling, that are friends and shit. And they be putting them up. So yeah, you know, fucking. And also, we hit trains though. We're hitting trains, and trains really travel. So that's the go-to right there to get as close as you can. You know, so.
No, yeah, fuck yeah. Honestly, like, I expect us to be traveling real soon. We already have a bunch of trips planned out. I don't really want to give away where we're going to go yet, but just know we have a ton of trips planned out, and we do plan on going outside the U.S. real soon.
Let's go. So, do you guys celebrate any crew milestones or, like, any anniversaries?
Yeah, we usually have a 1-year anniversary thing that goes down, and then, like, you know, every, like, month or so, we're always doing barbecues. We're always doing things together. You know, we're a family. That's how we see ourselves. More than a crew, we're a family, and we do a lot of stuff together. Whether it be on a daily, weekly, like. Well, you could speak on that a little more.
Go ahead and let them know.
Yeah. So we make it a point. So DAF, going back to like old school shit. So the number for our crew is 323. Before the area code, we were already 323. So you know, we try to celebrate on March 23rd, and sometimes it lands on the weekend, sometimes it doesn't, but when it doesn't, we just celebrate whatever weekend. But March 23rd, that's kind of like the de facto birthday, and you know, recently that was the whole point of us kind of tightening up shit. You know, it's like, hey dog, it's more than anything, it's mandatory, so everybody kind of meets each other. And then on some other personal shit, like we celebrate like the homies passing anniversaries, you know, Uso and Gnome and Spawn, you know, some of the homies that rep the crew and they passed away. We try to like either get together, go to the cemetery, whatever, or just have a little barbecue or something, you know, drink a beer or something, you know, drink a fria, you know what I'm saying? Just in honor of the members from the crew that passed away, you know?
Definitely a rest in peace, bro, to all the fallen soldiers, man. Most deaf, man. There's a fine line, bro, between hoods and crews, bro, you know? And it seems like the politics is in everything. So how does DAF deal with beef on the streets?
Well, so the way we deal with the beef in the streets, like he said, we got different. Everybody's a little different the way we handle it. But the way I grew up, the way they told me was, you know, you fucking put your foot on their necks, you know, and you go full force, whether they want you. It's fucking, you cap all their shit, and then until you catch them in person, and then you let them stomp them out, you know. And sometimes you know, you cap all their shit, and people just get scared from how much shit you capped in the little time. So from there they start backpedaling, and I just say put that shit in motion, and a lot of people, they respect when you're about your motion, you know. So that's one thing.
Honestly, when it comes to beef, I try to like refrain. Like, I go based off the graph rules. Like everyone knows the graph rules. Like, you know, it'd be like whether tags, you know, throws go over tags, bombs go over throws, you know, and then pieces go over bombs, and then pretty much, in my perspective, rollers go over everything. And I go based off those rules. I know there's a lot of people who don't care. They like to cry about like a little tag or some shit. And I have a lot of people that be trying to like Insta-bang, be crying in the DMs and shit. I don't really like give that shit any attention. More or less, it's like, if I see you, then, you know, then I'm gonna bring that shit up and be like, what was all that shit about? And then we're gonna see where it goes. Other than that, I don't like to entertain all these haters and like people who just be on the internet trying to Insta-bang.
Yeah, and me personally, like I said, I try to like diffuse the situation, but like they said, like if it's graph shit, then we're gonna, like you say, put that knee to the neck, you know what I'm saying? George Floyd, the motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like this, dog, that one way or another, them fools are gonna wave the white flag before I do. So I've been in situations where it got real thick, it got real fucking crazy, where if we would have catch these fools on the streets like fucking dissing us or just fucking kicking it, they would have got dealt with, and I'm kind of happy that they reached out to me, try to squash the beef, because I would have never done it. Like I would never approach somebody and say, hey fool, we don't want no beef with you guys. I'll fucking put it to their fucking, you know what I'm saying? Because if it's on some graffiti shit, but then you step over that line where you disrespect people's houses, or you do shit that's out of line, and it's one of those things. And then especially you like Santo said, like you gotta read the room, you gotta read their attitude. If they come on some graffiti shit, that shit'll die out, eventually. And then maybe you run into the person, and for all you know, that motherfucker, it was a misunderstanding. But if they come with the fucking woo woo, I'm this, I'm that, you know what I'm saying? I've slapped motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Like to me, I don't care who you are, how big you are, how you know what I mean? I've gotten fucking, how can I say it, dog? I ran into fools where it's fucking 5 of them and it's just me, and I'll be like, cool, nigga, like, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, dog. You guys are gonna fuck me up, dog, but I'm not gonna fucking, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna fucking run, so it's one of those things. But I try to diffuse the situation. If it's fucking some stupid shit, oh, we went over your spot, cool, dog, like, what do you want to do about it, you know what I'm saying? And if it's like one of those things where you're gonna forget about that spot, you're gonna go get 20 other spots, then let's just keep it pushing, dog. But if you want to keep crying about it, then it's gonna be what it's gonna be, dog. I think that graffiti, that's one thing that I hate about graffiti, that there's a lot of egos, and everybody wants to be the badass, everybody wants to be the fucking, everybody's scared of me. And I feel like this, dog, like, you don't gotta be that guy, dog. Like, you could just be a guy that wants to get up and cool, yeah, just paint, like, just get up and that's it. You don't have to be the tough guy, like, but also you don't have to be the bully. You don't gotta be out here thinking that everybody, you're gonna punk them and you're gonna fucking take their shit or whatever. Like, bro, don't do that, you know what I mean? Like, graffiti's supposed to be fun, dog, and a lot of fools out here, dog, they make it fucking so that it's like, fuck, I don't even want to be outside, like, all my shit's gonna get dissed, or I gotta go diss somebody, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that. That's why I feel like this, dog. There's opposing views, like, I'll fuck with him if he's in the right. I'm gonna run with it. But if I think that it could be fixed, I'll tell him, hey, Daze, and this is just us 3. Like, there's fucking 20 other heads that have an opinion, dog. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta think of them too. Like, if they came at Santo wrong, we're gonna ride for Santo, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, dog. And if it's something where he's in the wrong, like, as a man, he's gonna say, hey, dog, like, it was me, I fucked up, well, my bad, So yeah.
So yeah, like, this graph, this shit's got pros and cons, and it's got good and bad. It's fucking depends how you want to put it and how you put yourself out there. But I've been in situations just for graffiti that I hope other people don't end up running into. But you know what? That's part of this game, and it's not built for everybody. So I'm not gonna get too much into it, but like, one little scenario for me, I've been jumped for this crew, I've been shot at for this crew, and not like, you know what I mean? That's nothing to brag about, but it's just, that's what comes with it, that's something that not everybody talks about, and that's what's not on Instagram, so. Another one is like fucking putting up stickers, just me putting up a sticker, man. I got ran up on, and they hit my brother in the head with a skateboard, and I had no choice but to get back at him. I'm not gonna get into that shit, but I got my part in, so. Just offer stickers and offer graffiti, dog. So it just depends what you want to do with it, Yeah.
Do you guys have any shout outs that you want to give?
Yeah. Shit. Yeah, well, let me give a shout out to, can I be, Krews and dead homies and shit too, or what? All right, I'm going to give a shout out to, right now, the dead homies going to be, rest in peace, Yuso, Odin, Spawn, J23, Gnome, Posta. There's gonna be more right now.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what he said right here. The homies that passed away that repped the crew, whether it was like a little bit or was a lot, massive. The homie Massive, rest in peace. Remser, the homie Remser, to us, you know, they left a mark. I know Santo has homies that, you know, that they weren't even from the crew, that, you know, they schooled them or they, you know, but me personally, like, being one of the older members, like, I watched some of these fools, you know, and when you lose a homie like that, like, for me, that they're younger, like, it fucking sucks, you know what I mean? It kind of like Spawn, you know, Spawn died of cancer, you know what I'm saying? And he was young too, dog, and he was a good homie, you know what I'm saying? And we shared a lot of, like, good memories. The homie J23, you know, and then, like, I feel like this, dog, like, there's crews, dog, that show us love, like my homie Reno from MSK, AWR, my homie Jumex, UPN, TNT. Those are good, solid homies that, like, outside of graffiti, like, we kick it, you know what I'm saying? Like, we barbecue together, like, and, you know, there's other homies that I have. My homie Reason that passed away too. He was a good homie, dog, and when I moved to the area that I live in, he was the first fool to show me love, dog. He opened his doors, you know, and to me, I'll never forget that shit, dog. And he went against the grain. He stood tall for us, for DAF, against all his fake ass homies that he had, you know what I mean? All them fools fucking tucked their tail, and, you know, they used to run away from, like, whatever enemies they had, and, you know, that fool's the only fool that was solid and shit. Reason. But yeah.
Rest in peace, Eos. Rest in peace, Sevic. Shout out to the homies from Emperor's Choice and Street King. No free Nivik. Free the homie Hit 'em. That's pretty much it.
Yo, bro. We chilling with the one and only DAF Krew. Yo, we appreciate you guys, yo.
Yo, we all gotta face consequences and repercussions, you know, from our wrongdoings. Pain is important, you know. Pain lets you know what shouldn't be done, you know. And a lot of the times, when the pain goes away, it stays in the past and it remains there. Same shit with people, you know. People that get lost in the past are there for a reason. And, you know, when it's the right type of company that's been with you for so long and still around is the type of company that you gotta keep, you know. We sometimes tend to force paths that don't belong to us, and sometimes it leads us walking backwards, you know. Let's not revisit the past. It's a past for a reason, you know. Meaning it already happened, and there's a big chance that it shouldn't be happening again, you know. Yo, focus on yourself and create that path that you deserve, you know. And that's pretty much the only way to really get that path opened up, you know. Focus on yourself, and the more you focus on yourself, the brighter the path will be, you know. On some real shit though. Shit sounds cliche, you know. Sounds kind of corny, but it's just the more you focus on yourself, it's like the easier the path gets, you know. Yo, chin up, smile and be happy. Shit is mad contagious, I'm telling you. Eyesore Radio. It's Louis Talk, baby. What's up?